Okay, so our group was talking about data-driven culture. So, as a group, these are group members. I'm your presenter, Daniel. Okay, so our article of choice was, does data-driven culture impact innovation and performance of a firm? An empirical study by this gentleman. Okay, so an introduction. So what is data-driven culture? So creating data-driven culture is about replacing the gut feeling with decision based on data-driven facts. So with data-driven culture, we treat data as the main source for leveraging insights in the departments of an organization. So in firms, data-driven culture is considered to bring business-oriented cultural transformation. Okay. So you can ask us what is the data that is used in data-driven culture. So that for deriving the facts, the data may include simple figures such as revenue, profits, results from analytical models, or even quantitative data. So continuation of our introduction, we'll talk about. So the secret of a firm's success lies in how it can scientifically analyze the customer data. A huge volume of customer data helps a digitized firm to improve its data-driven innovation. Thus, it's necessary for firms to collect data of various nature to analyze towards improving the performance. So the ability of a company or an organization to extract useful information from the chunk volume of data determines its success rate. So let's continue. So the research question in the article was, so before we go to the research question, just bringing out the research question. So data-driven culture acts as an effective driver to help a firm to best utilize product development opportunities, as explained earlier. So the analysis of the customer data by business analysis solutions helps a firm to respond to the needs of a customer. However, this data need to be acquired properly. That's where data-driven comes in. So our research question was, does data-driven culture impact innovation and performance of a firm? Also to the hypothesis. So as earlier said that huge volumes of data are generated through modern technology such as IoT, cloud computing, among others. So this data helps firms to generate new ideas from from the information extracted after the analysis of the data, which after that data has been adopted and new strategies used, it leads to a better performance in the company. So the culture of a firm includes the complex sets of beliefs, values, assumptions, policies, which provide ways in which the firm conducts its business. Every firm has its different culture. So our hypothesis as per the article were, data-driven culture of a firm positively impacts firm's ecosystem scanning. So this was the first hypothesis tested in the article. The second hypothesis was that data-driven culture moderates the relationship between firm's ecosystem scanning ability, process, and product innovation of a firm. So these are the hypotheses that were tested in the article. So the method for testing hypothesis. So hypotheses were tested using partial least squares structural equation modeling process from Smart PLS 2.0 M3 software. So you may ask yourself, what is the partial least squares structural equation modeling. So this is a method for structural equation modeling that allows estimation of complex cause-effect relationship in path models with latent variable. So if you see the cause effect, so here we have said that data-driven culture of a farm positively impacts farm's ecosystem scanning. So cause effect, the data-driven impacts the scanning effect. So that's the element of the cause effect. Okay, so in context of the PLS SME approach, each hypothesis was tested using bootstrapping to consider 6,000 resamples with 45 cases. So while using partial least squares helps to avoid parametric tests. So the data collection tools used were interviews and questionnaires. So 41 people interviewed, 6 people were experts, and expert on how firms use business analytics application in data-driven cultural context, and 35 employees of 4 firms that use business analytics. So a total of 28 items were prepared after the data was filtered. You have to filter data to eliminate biasness. Okay, so so this before we continue, this article had several elements being tested. You see, there's product innovation, this data-driven culture. So we were focusing on data-driven culture. As you can see, the arrows, it influences farm ecosystem scanning, it influences product innovation, and it also influences process innovation as stated in the hypothesis. So this conceptual model helps you to understand the hypothesis. So now these are the findings. To discuss these findings better, let me explain using this. So after the statistical validation, all the hypotheses were supported. The effects of data-driven culture on the farm ecosystem scanning indicate that the moderating effects of data-driven culture on H6, let me show you H6. So our H6 is data-driven culture, farm ecosystem scanning impacts product innovation. So we're saying that the effects of data-driven culture on the farm ecosystem scanning indicate that the moderating effects of data-driven culture on the ecosystem scanning towards product innovation is maximum as the concerned path coefficient is is highest, with a significance level of probability of less than 0.05. So if you add if you add this to this, you'll get the 0.47 as indicated there. There's an influence of the data-driven culture, and there's an influence of the FES there. So our this hypothesis, let me show you, our second hypothesis and first were tested and found to be true. So we'll continue the discussion. This study highlighted that data-driven culture helps improve a farm's ecosystem scanning ability, which in turn improves innovation, as explained in our in our findings. And also the validation model, it's viable to say that data-driven culture improves a farm's ecosystem scanning ability. So as earlier said, that the people involved in in the data collection were, you see, 6 people were experts. So that's why you have seen that in the discussion part here we have Moore and others, who observe that data-driven cultural aspects improve the product innovation. So implications of this article of data-driven culture as per this article. So the provided effective inputs to the managers. Data-driven culture provides effective inputs to the managers and business analytic practitioners to improve the firm performance. Another one is data-driven. The article has outlined that data-driven culture, it outlined the need of farm stakeholders to realize the need of acquiring quality data. Yes, if you have quality data, the output as per your strategies that you use, it will be better as compared when you just take any kind of data. That's the essence of the ecosystem scanning, importance of data driven on ecosystem scanning. So data oriented culture has provided managers effective inputs to develop the reflective ideas. This comes after the data has been extracted from the huge volumes of data using different business analytics models and BA technologies. However, all this data may not generate equal values. Thus, managers should train employees to identify those data sets which are relevant for their particular work. This comes back to acquiring quality data. Okay, our conclusion as per the article was the study enumerated how the concept of data-driven culture can provide substantial dividends towards the process and product innovation of firms. So quality data leads to better process innovation and product innovation in the firms. Okay, so these are references. Thank you for your time.